Are you ready, Coach? Good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin, as a courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. If you're joining us on Zoom, please raise your hand function for questions. We will address questions in the room first and then get to Zoom if time allows. As always, recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. We will start with an opening statement from our coach and then some questions for the student athletes, followed by questions for the coach. And Coach?
First of all, I thought it was just it was an awesome game. It felt like a SEC kind of game, on the road, rowdy crowd. I love that they showed up for their team. This Waco has been incredibly hospitable, and we have a lot of respect for Baylor. And, I just felt like it was a classic game, a lot of back and forth. Sarah Andrews staring me down every time she made a shot. I told her how much I love that. Someone had to lose, and I'm just glad it's not us. And I'm just incredibly grateful that we were able to come out with a victory.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we'll start with our questions. Bob? Skylar?
Skylar Dixon with the AP. Sarah, your nose okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I noticed it early in the game, but did you have it at the beginning, or did something happen early that you needed to make sure it was okay?
Yeah, something happened in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess while I've still got the mic, Madison, you appeared frustrated after a couple of foul calls early. You were looking for a foul call on one of those buckets late. What were the conversations with Coach Yo or others about trying to keep you in the moment, and how did that help you when it came time to hit that key shot late?
Yeah, a lot of emotions this game, because of what was at stake. But thank God for my teammates. Thank God for my coaches. They settle me down. They tell me, that look at the game. We're in the game, next play mentality. So thankful for them.
All right, Evelyn, do you have a question?
Evie.
Sarah, this question is for you. Can you talk about, you're a true freshman. Can you talk about being ready to step into the spotlight as a true freshman and now heading to play a Sweet 16 game?
Yeah, like we talk about every day. I didn't want to stop playing with her, like my seniors. That's why I will give everything I had. And I don't know how many games we had left, but I will give everything every time I step on the court like I did today, because I don't want to stop playing with them. Yeah.
All right, Skylar?
Madison, Coach Yo mentioned, I don't know if yesterday or 2 days ago, that you were around 3 years ago when you all played here. You all talked a little bit about that. How much was that on your mind, and how special is it to do this after what you went through 3 years ago in this town?
Yeah, it was fitting that God brought us back here, my final year after losing here, getting outs the first round last time. So definitely it was in the back of my head that I wanted to come and lead my team to victory. I wanted to come and it'd be a different story this time, So really, really grateful that we were able to come down here and be successful and get 2 wins. And I'm so excited, for what's to come. So excited to go home, wash our clothes, pack up, and get back, to Spokane. So I'm excited.
All right, Evelyn, did you have a question?
Maddie, can you talk about, you made some big shots down the stretch. Can you just talk about what your mindset was here in this hostile venue and what you were thinking?
Well, there was a lot of things going through my mind, as you can see through my emotion and my passion. But I shoot every day. I put in the work and get up shots every day outside of what's required. So I don't know if you guys noticed down the stretch, I missed 3 shots in a row, And of course, a part of me wanted to be in my head, but I had to remember that I put up shots every single day, that I shoot these shots, that I'm very capable of hitting these shots. So I just had to remind myself, and again, my teammates were telling me, Coach Yo was telling me, let it go, next play. So when it came down to that last play, I just trusted, the work that I put in, trusted God, and just, shot it.
On the offensive boards, you won that margin 16-9. Can you talk about what went into that?
Well, we talk about, our defense, right? But we talk about the possession ending with a rebound. Like it's not a stop unless we come up with the rebound. And for us, rebounding is a sign of toughness, sign of character. So it was a point that we rebounded. On both ends of the floor tonight. We made sure that we were very intentional about it. So yeah, it's just a part of what we do, and we know that in order to be successful and continue to dance, we got to rebound. We have to defend. That's our emphasis every time we step on the floor.
All right, do we have any questions on the floor? Yeah, Elliot.
Elijah Pope, Ball State Daily News for Madison. Baylor ended the first half on a 10-0 run, but you guys came out on a 6-0 run to answer. I guess what changed at halftime?
Well, first, basketball's a game of runs, and Baylor's a really great team, So we knew that they were going to punch back, but coming out of halftime, we just wanted to give our all. We knew we had 20 minutes left, but we weren't ready to go home, and that was the message. The message was, to have no regrets when that buzzer ended, and look, no regrets, so God is good.
All right. Evelyn?
Evie Van Pelt with theRebelWalk.com. Sierra, you were the leading scorer for the Rebels. And again, you had just some big plays there throughout the game, but especially in the second half. And can you talk about your mentality again? It was crunch time in a hostile environment with a lot on the line.
Yeah, I think sometimes someone has to step up. That's what happened. Like, I don't want to think again that I'm a freshman or something. Like, I have to step up there. My team need me to do that every single day. If I don't do it, I'm wrong. Like, that was my mindset today.
She doesn't even sound like a freshman, right?
All right, do we have any questions from the floor? Any other questions? We do have some questions on Zoom, if that's okay, Coach. All right, and we have Sasha Lightborn patiently waiting. And Sasha, do you have any question for the athletes?
Yes, I have a question for Madison. Sasha Lightborn, our news, Nassau, Bahamas. Maddie, just last Sunday you said our defense travels. How important was that statement, especially in this game today?
Oh, it was very, very important. Like I keep saying, Baylor was a really good team. Great players. It was important, that we came here on the road with our defense, ready to with our defense ready, So, again, like I said, our defense travels. In order for us to continue to dance through March, we understand how important it is to play defense. We're going to be playing at different courts. The shots aren't always going to fall. But one thing that's always going to be there is our defense, because that's a will thing. And Coach O harps on us, being willing to do what it takes to win. And, again, defense shows that we're doing what it takes to win.
All right. Sasha, did you have any other questions?
No, I'm good with the players. Thank you.
All right. And we have a question from Donna Sprayberry. Sorry, Donna, I muted you. Let me unmute you.
Okay. Hi, guys. Congratulations. So, coming out at halftime, they had come back strong kind of on you. You're in there at halftime. Coach O and the other coaches have told you what it is you have to do. But what do you as a team talk about that gets your mindset where it needs to be to come in that second half and accomplish what you need to accomplish?
Honestly, we were calling each other soft. I'm being completely honest with you. We're at the point where we lose, we go home. So it's important that we're honest with each other. You got to give, the hard truth. And to end that second quarter, we were being very soft, including myself. Went up a couple times, like you said, sir, expecting a foul call, right? And for us, that's soft. So we just wanted to come out in the second half and be better. Not playing for the whistle, being the aggressor, dictating and disrupting, on both ends of the floor. So I'm really proud of us for doing that.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other questions from the floor? All right, I believe that's everything for our athletes.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
All right. So our next question for the coach. Skylar?
Good to see you today, Skylar.
I'm back. I exposed the Associated Press as not taking the expenses, but I'm here on the game
There you
days,
go.
right? Those are the most important days,
I appreciate
right?
that.
I know you don't, just being around you a little bit here, since you don't dwell too much on history, but is there some satisfaction in doing what you did here after what you all went through 3 years ago?
You know, it's satisfaction because I really enjoy coaching this team, and this team has had a goal that they want to go to the Final Four. And so, and we don't get to stop tonight. And we will be one of the remaining 16 teams that will be competing. And you don't have a chance if you're out. So as far as I'm concerned, we will be one of the 16 teams that has a chance to win a national championship. So it's satisfaction in that regard. I'm at peace what happened in the past because for me, that's all a part of being here, and that's what makes it special. So just really, it was really gratifying when the buzzer sounded and we had the victory.
All right, Evelyn?
Well, your team sounds so much like you, and so y'all were underdogs in this game.
Yeah.
And do you feel like their performance kind of reflects you and your mentality and how you approach things?
Well, not in the second quarter. I don't take any responsibility for that. You know, at halftime, they were so riled up. I know a lot of people think I went in there and just threw around chairs and stuff like that. But honestly, I just kept calm, and I just reminded them that versus NC State, we were down 21 and we got back in the game, and versus UConn, we were down 20-something and in one quarter got back in the game. Versus LSU, we were down 16 and won the game. And I just asked them, I said, so you're telling me 3 points is a margin we can't make up? One basket? And then, you know, because sometimes people just need, it needs to make sense, some type of rationale. And they were just going nuts in there. And I was like, I mean, I really want y'all to think about it. It's a one-possession game. They made their run. And now let's make our run. And then when we got in the fourth quarter and it was, in my opinion, 0-0 because it was a tie game, we felt confident.
One more thing. You had 25 bench points to Baylor's 12. So
Yeah.
Can you talk about how important your bench was?
Yeah, I'm always going to sub. I'm always going to start the group that I feel starts the best for us. And I started doing that like 6 games ago. So now everyone's like really comfortable with whatever I decide, even at halftime if I need to make a change. And our group just understands this. Like it takes all of us. You know, we're a super team. You know, so today Sierra was the leading scorer, but then the other game someone else was the leading scorer. Like, thank God Sierra came to play. Where's she been? so you know, but that is our team. You know, KK didn't score at all yesterday. All right, and then Tam says, "Okay, I'll do you one better. I won't score, so you score." So then KK gets 13 and 2. So we're a super team, and that's what makes us special because you can't just key in on one person. We were able to key in on a couple people on their team, and I didn't think they were able to do that, and I thought that was the difference.
All right, do we have any questions from the floor? Skylar.
I wondered your perspective on Madison. When she got that second foul, you had to get her out of the game, and she looked a little upset. It looked like you went and talked to her. What was that conversation, and how much of your mindset was just trying to keep her locked in?
Yeah, I just told her to relax. She was just starting to, the kids say it, crash out. So she was like just losing it. And I'm like, Maddie, first of all, we're up. And secondly, you're fine. Just relax. But she was passionate because she felt like she should have gotten a foul. And again, I'm glad you brought that up because I said at halftime, I said, guys, when do we get calls? When we're on the road. It's called home cooking for a reason. And I thought the officials did a great job during the game. It was a hard game. It was a physical game. I felt like it was going to be what it was. So I was just trying to get her to just calm down.
Oh, and we have one more for Evelyn.
Speaking of KK, I think from 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter,
she brought it home.
6 free throws. She was 6 of 6. So how huge was that? And being a leader on this team and taking any role that she needs.
Yeah, you know, don't tell KK this, but I love her to death. She is really, in a lot of ways, a mini-me, all right? And that's why she drives me nuts most times. But she's fearless. She's a leader. She's competitive. And she's a winner. And when KK came to Ole Miss, I said, you scored 30 points, 25 points, 27 points, but you haven't won. And until you win, then none of that matters. And she has taken that to heart. This is a young lady that came back from 2 ACL injuries. Very prideful. I bring off the bench for a freshman. She had to adjust to that role. Then today I said, hey, you're not starting because I want to give a different look. And she is completely bought in. So really happy for her. She deserves this more, just as much as anybody else.
All right, let's take some questions from Zoom. We have Donna Sprayberry, and you are unmuted.
Hey, Donna.
Let's see. Are you there?
Hey, Donna Sprayberry, the Rebel Walk. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Donna.
So, showing the stands in the game, the crowd was there, they were
Yeah.
supporting, but they showed your husband, and Yuri was. And he was just coaching away. And they showed Maddie's grandmother.
Yeah.
What all does that do for your team and
Yeah.
taking the next round, knowing that love and support is there?
Yeah.
All of us who really support you.
Well, Coach Emp is from Texas. I don't know if people know that. She's from Dallas. So she had 100 people show up. And then Christine's parents live in Waco. So I don't know that people know that. Star is from Texas. And so we had a really good showing. And one of the players from year one, she's from Texas. She was there, Crystal Allen. She came to the game. And my husband's from Texas. He's from Fort Worth, Texas. So it's a family affair. And, you know, I wouldn't want to go through this without, you know, my husband, 2 kids. My mom is here, my sister. We're a team. And so my husband, sometimes I have to talk him down. So he is all in. And just grateful for the fans showing up. And I double dare them to come to Spokane.
All right. Let's see. And we have
You know
a question
Sasha's on
from
there.
Sasha. Yes, we do. She's been waiting patiently. Sasha, are you there? You should be unmuted.
Yeah, there I am.
There you go.
Coach, congratulations, boy. I was screaming.
I already know.
I have 2 questions for you, Coach.
Sure.
I don't know if you know, but Devin Charlton is the world indoor champion.
Yes,
Back today, 60-meter hurdle.
I saw that.
You come behind her and you just pull this thing out of the water, even though it was an edge of your seat game, and we still have the reigning WNBA Finals MVP. Talk to me about being a Bahamian in the spotlight.
Yeah.
It must be, especially having your 2 girls there,
Yeah.
your mom,
Yeah.
I saw in the game as well. Talk to me about what this means for such a little country.
Yeah.
And then I have a second question for you as well.
Sure. Well, you know, like we say, 242 to the world. So I have a whole country that's behind me, and that is not an exaggeration. I turned my phone on, and I had 150 messages and 50 from WhatsApp. And the only people that WhatsApp me are Bahamian people. So my daddy was watching. My brother, I know everybody was super excited. You know, it's a great deal for me to come from a little country and be able to come over here and live the American dream. A lot of people know or don't know my story, but you know, I took the stairs, and you know, I think I've been naturalized maybe 5 years now. I don't remember, but my roots is still Bahamian roots. My family is there. I get a lot of love from my people in the Bahamas, and I just think that when we get an opportunity, we always show out, from Jonquel to Buddy I know I'm going to hear from JJ and Buddy, to Devon. Man, it's just so many of us. VJ, I do root for Baylor, but just VJ. He's a Bahamian. So we have tons of Bahamians out here just doing well, and I'm happy for them all.
Final question for you, Coach.
Sure.
Not last year, the last time you made the Sweet 16 was a lot of tears. You gave us
Yeah.
an epic one-liner. That's a little girl from the Bahamas
Yeah.
that came. It was all like a dream. What's the difference between that time and this time?
Well, I was still emotional. I was crying the whole time, just filled with just gratitude and joy. That's the best way I could. That's the best way I could describe it. I think this time is just a tad different because we expected to win. When we went to Stanford, I thought we could win, but we were outmanned. They had like 3 WNBA players, and we were just there, just having a good time. This time, it was all business. We didn't sightsee. We barely left the hotel. This was a business trip for us. So we expected to win. We don't think we're a 5 seed, but that's what the committee gave us. So, and so we played with the cards that we were dealt. And I think what you saw was, like, I was getting ready to celebrate, and then Maddie was like, let's go, let's get out of here. So it's just a level of maturity from this group. We expected to win.
All right, we have a question from Sam Schuyler. Sam, you should be unmuted.
Hey, Coach O, it's Sam Schuyler from the Clarion Ledger.
Hey.
Kind of like what you were just talking about, but you were obviously pretty disappointed that this team wasn't able to host the regional this weekend. I wonder just how much of a motivating factor was that for this team coming into these 2 games?
You know what, and I've said this, and I really mean this. Had we hosted, I would have been pumped. But I'm really grateful for the pressure we didn't have to go through to win at home. It's just, I don't know if this place is rocking like this all the time, but my mentor, Don Staley, always tells me, like, if you're not used to this type of crowd, it could work against you. And I'm not sure Baylor has this type of crowd all the time. If they do, then okay. But while it's good, it's also something that you have to get used to. And for us, we had no pressure. And, in the SEC, we play in big crowds. So I think this whole 7,000, our pavilion holds 9,000. We've had 8,000, 7,000, 6,000 games at home, fan attendance. And then on the road at LSU, it's packed. So it's in Paris, it was sold out. NC State sold out. We're unfazed by this, and we actually enjoyed it. And the student section, man, they heckled me the whole game. They were respectful, but they had a great time. So, we're just used to it, and we're built to play on the road. And our players understand that free throws and layups matter the most on the road. So, and I want to say this, you didn't ask, but I was really proud of Maddie because when she smoked that layup, to come back and then hit that shot, I don't know, when we played Texas at home, she didn't come back and hit that shot. So I was really proud of her for her growth in that moment.
All right, we have a question from Donna Sprayberry, and let me unmute you, Donna. Let's see. Danielle, can you unmute that? It's not. Okay, there you go, Donna.
Back to what you just said about Maddie and then KK earlier with
Yeah.
his question, getting the free throws down the end. I mean, what does that say for you about the mental toughness of your team, how it's evolved over the year? Because there were times when that wasn't the case.
That's right. But
And so what changed? What's different?
growth, Donna, learning through our losses. When we lost to Texas at home, Maddie had the last shot, and she got to the paint, and she kicked it to Sierra. I told her, we got to win and lose with you. And so that's growth. And it's no knock on Sierra, Maddie is the 5th year senior. So we learned from that. We have really learned through our losses. And so that's what you saw, a team that has had to grow through our losses. And again, we scheduled so that we could possibly host, right? But we gained so much out of that. I don't know who can rattle us. Y'all, we played Southern California, NC State, UConn, LSU, Texas, South Carolina. Our last 10 games, every team except for 3 teams were ranked in the top 15 or below. We are battle tested. So that is what you're seeing, a team that has had a chance to grow through and learn through our losses and then perform on the biggest stage when it matters the most.
All right. Do we have any other questions from the floor? Evelyn.
I just have one final question. Are y'all going to go back to
Yeah,
Oxford?
you want to ride?
Yeah. Well, I just wondered. I think maybe was it a few years ago? Did you go directly to the West Coast? So I just wondered what you were doing.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I'm not sure that everyone was prepared for us to beat Stanford. So they had to shift, and it was like, just stay out here. So we have a chance to go back home, which would be great. And my team, our word is joy. We don't complain a lot. I don't allow them to. And so we would have been grateful regardless. But we'll have to go back home and change out some stuff.
All right. Do we have any more questions from the floor?
All right. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Safe travels.
Congratulations. It was a pleasure.